an animal. These are the guns that hunters use. They go like this, and you look down the barrel, and you can shoot very precisely. You can have a scope. Mass shooters don't like things that go like this, because what that means is someone can hit the rifle butt against their head. Deer don't do this. Elk don't do this. So the mass shooters use guns that go like this. All right? Pistol grips, things like that. A shotgun. What's a shotgun? A shotgun's very powerful. You shoot a shotgun, and it shoots some 40 pellets out.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Hey everyone, Gary here from Virtus Media Group, coming at you again with another truth video exposing the liberal gun grabbers' myths, lies, and misinformation. As usual, please click the subscribe, notification bell, and thumbs up, and share this video. Today's topic is Delegate Mark Levine, misinformation, lies, and flat-out ignorance. Now before I get into this, I must first issue an apology. Every time I hear this guy speak and hear the utter stupidity that rolls out of his mouth, it literally makes my brain hurt. So I'm sorry I must put you all through this torture as well. Virginia State Delegate Mark Levine has proven himself to be the perfect lapdog for Governor Blackface Northam, acting as his mouthpiece to forward his communist, unconstitutional gun-grabbing schemes. Of course, just like every other attempted communist takeover, their proposals are filled with lies and misinformation designed to deceive the public into thinking their terrible ideas are actually good for the public. So let's break this down and show how they're twisting the truth today. Levine announced Northam's assault weapons ban on the House floor with the most ridiculous descriptions and flat-out lies.
I am proud today to introduce one of the governor's 8 bills. This bill would ban military-style assault weapons, high-capacity magazines, sound suppressors, and bump stocks.
First off, sound suppressors have been highly regulated to the point that the average gun owner can't afford one for quite some time now. And bump stocks have already been banned by the federal government in 2019. So why are they even wasting time on this?
Military-style assault weapons are designed for mass murder. That's why they were created. That's how they've been used, from Virginia Tech to Virginia Beach.
There's the first lie. Everyone who remembers the Virginia Tech shooting knows that an assault weapon was not used. No, the shooter, Sung Hoi Cho, used 2 pistols, a .22 caliber Walther P22 and a 9mm Glock 19. Likewise, in Virginia Beach, the shooter used 2 .45 caliber pistols, a Glock 21 and an H&K USP.
Now, they're not used for hunting. They don't need to be used for hunting.
Okay, first off, I've been trying for years to find the word hunting in the Second Amendment, but I digress. It always amuses me when people who know absolutely nothing about firearms or hunting try to educate us about what guns are used for hunting. Tons of people use an AR-15 to hunt everything from wild hogs to turkeys and many things in between. But really, what's in any of his business what we hunt with? Anyway, check out how idiotic this next line is.
You don't need a high-capacity magazine to shoot a deer. Usually the deer runs away after 1 shot. If the deer doesn't run away by 10 shots, the deer is probably wounded, and you probably don't want to eat that deer full of gunshot.
Once again, Mr. Levine shows his complete lack of knowledge having to do with firearms and hunting. It always cracks me up when clueless liberals describe us hunting with an AR-15 like we're just roaming the woods, blasting deer rapid fire with 30 rounds. No, you do not need a 30-round magazine to hunt with, but it is convenient. If you're on a long hunt where you may shoot multiple animals, maybe miss a few shots too, it's nice to have that capacity of a magazine so you don't have to reload so much all day. But let's move on.
This ban has worked. It has worked at the federal level.
Really? That's not what the common consensus is from both sides of the issue. I did a lot of searching online for information on exactly how effective the 1994 assault weapons ban was on gun crime, and honestly, it's all kind of murky. You see facts submitted by people on both sides of the argument that aren't really that definitive either way. But at the end of the day, the consensus is pretty clear. In September 2014, the very liberal New York Times stated in an article called "The Assault Weapons Myth" that in the 10 years since the previous ban lapsed, even gun control advocates acknowledge a larger truth. The law that barred the sale of assault weapons from 1994 to 2004 made little difference. It turns out that big, scary military rifles don't kill the vast majority of the 11,000 Americans murdered with guns each year. Little handguns do. In 2012, only 322 people were murdered with any kind of rifle, according to FBI statistics. And we all know that assault rifles comprise of a very small portion of the already small portion of murders committed by rifles. The article then went on to state that, should it be renewed, the ban's effects on gun violence are likely to be small at best, and perhaps too small for reliable measurement. In an interview on the topic of the assault weapons ban, Brad Plumer from, again, the very liberal Washington Post said the following.
So the law had significant loopholes. Did it work? Did it change crime?
Well, for the most part, criminologists who have said this think it didn't very much, and there's a reason for that, is that the assault weapons that Congress looked at and banned only take place in a small number of gun crimes to begin with.
Most crimes are committed with guns that weren't banned, even by the assault.
The amazing part here is that even liberal news outlets, which are always on the side of the Democrats and whatever garbage they're trying to push on any given day, dispute the effectiveness and the need for an assault weapons ban. But they continue to try these ridiculous schemes.
We know that the murders committed with these weapons have gone down 37% when that happened.
It's a kind of sketchy claim. From 1993 to 2004, all gun crimes went down roughly 39%. And from that point, kind of slightly fluctuated, ending with an all-time low in 2011. This was not in any way due to the assault weapons ban, because all gun crime dropped and stayed low even after the ban was lifted in 2004.
This bill will not save every life lost to guns. We've got 40,000 people killed every year in America. Since this session began, 4 are now dead.
Wow, Mr. Levine finally said something that's factually accurate. Yes, 40,000 people per year do die in the United States by a gun. But as what he leaves out is the fact that over 60% of those deaths by guns are suicides. They never tell you that fact, do they? No, they need all of those numbers in order to make gun owners look bad.
In Virginia, it's 1,000 a year. When this day is over, 3 are now dead.
Again, an accurate statement on the amount of gun deaths. But he fails to tell you the truth that yes, even in Virginia, over 60% of gun deaths are due to suicide. And over 80% of gun deaths in Virginia are from handguns, not assault weapons.
This is a bill about stopping the next mass murder, not the last one.
I just love it how he tries to drum up the fear of potential mass shootings in Virginia, like it's something we're dealing with on a daily basis. But a quick look at Wikipedia shows what they say are 7 mass shootings in the entire history of our state. One of these was a man killing many people in his family. Personally, I see that as a domestic homicide, not really in line with what we consider a mass shooting, where some lunatic goes into some establishment to kill as many strangers as possible. 4 more of the incidents listed are nowhere near what the FBI considers a mass shooting, based on the numbers of people killed. 1 person killed at the congressional baseball game, for example, or 2 people killed in another shooting. That leaves Virginia Tech and the Virginia Beach shootings as the only 2 real mass shootings ever to happen in Virginia over the course of 12 years. So much for the fear-mongering to make us fear dying in a mass shooting tomorrow. But really, what's the deal here? Are they really trying to make Virginians safer? To save as many of our lives as possible? This graph shows the top 3 leading causes of unnatural deaths in Virginia. As you can see, Car accidents, guns, and fatal drug overdoses ran almost in line with each other from 2007 to 2015. Then we see a scary spike of fatal drug overdoses from 2015 to the present day. Have you heard the Democrat-controlled General Assembly propose one new law or program to try to reduce the effect of this terrible scourge that's plaguing so many families here in Virginia right now? But here's the part that I find really offensive.
But doing nothing is not an option. We are tired of funerals.
Really? You're tired of funerals? Don't you love it how they make us gun owners out to be these terrible, heartless people who just love it when people die in mass numbers? Yay, 20 children and 6 adults were killed in Newtown, Connecticut today. Awesome. But they're the only ones who care about human life. You're tired of funerals? Could have fooled me. Statistics clearly show just where most gun deaths take place in Virginia, and it is consistently always in the same cities where crime and death run rampant and unchecked by weak Democrat crime policies. Again, what have they proposed for dealing with the high crime in those areas? Nothing. They want to take away the firearms of every law-abiding Virginian in the whole state and ignore the real problem. Not only that, they're proposing bills that would grant early parole and release to thousands of dangerous felons, even those convicted of premeditated first-degree murder, releasing them back onto the streets to continue their sick, violent assault on the innocent, law-abiding Virginians, leaving us unarmed to even have a fighting chance to protect ourselves.
How dare you?
You're sick of funerals? Give me a break. You people are blatantly trying to create more funerals. Go tell that pathetic line to someone who's stupid enough to believe you. Listen here, Mr. Levine. You sit there and sanctimoniously preach to us about how your communist plan to disarm good law-abiding Virginians is such a good plan, while you blatantly ignore the facts that prove you wrong. You very weakly try to make your case that you're so tired of funerals in one breath, then your commie cohorts in Richmond try to put the murderous scum right back out on our streets in the next breath. One has to wonder, Mr. Levine, are you just a big fat liar trying to push your fake agenda? Or are you just too stupid to know anything about the matter?
So the mass shooters use guns that go like this. All right? Pistol grips, things like that.
One does have to wonder.